Alright guys, welcome back to a shorter episode of Cool's Reviews. We just checked out a Colorado Experience episode on Uranium Mania, I think is what it's called. Mainly because while watching the History's Greatest Mysteries of the Phoenix Lights, it didn't show a lot of military stuff in Colorado. And so that brought up the idea, let's watch this, because a lot of the stuff for World War II, as far as bomb material and stuff like that, actually came from Colorado, though it was tested down in White Sands and stuff like that.
I don't see how these are related anyway, but let's go with it.
I just said.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense because the Phoenix Lights and then bomb-related World War II stuff, it does not go together.
I said because they brought up the military bases. Matt said they didn't see any.
Huh?
And so we wanted to watch how we were part of that because we were supposed to have such a big military influence.
Sure.
And so it really talks about two cities, but mainly the city of Yerevan, which is no longer around. And we'll get to that, but it was a huge mining operation to get a lot of this radioactive or uranium at points material, and in the long run it hurt a lot of the people, especially the miners who had developed lung cancer because of working in these dangerous locations. Now, one of the daughters / husband of another miner who died said that they all knew what they were signing up for. They just wanted to provide for the family. So again, it's a sign of the times. It's a different time, and people needed jobs, especially coming out of the Great Depression. It was hard work, dangerous work, but there wasn't a lot of work to go around. And so it shows you people will work hard. Just sometimes it's not always the safest of conditions. Now, Yerevan is interesting because we did get to hear from some people that actually lived in the town, which I think is cool. If we get the opportunity ever to interview someone that lived in Yerevan, so if you're watching this, somehow you found us, and you lived in Yerevan, let us know, because we'd love to talk to you and just hear your stories, because it's super fascinating. We have obviously touched upon different mining towns in Colorado, and this is one we can't see because at the end they legit burned the city down. They showed pictures of it. Sam pointed out that they waited till the snow, especially in Yerevan, super dry. That probably would have spread quick.
Wouldn't that have been what they wanted, though, too?
I mean, they didn't want it to get out of control. They just wanted to burn, I guess,
like a controlled burn.
Buildings. Yeah.
But this is Colorado, too. That shit just could have popped up out of nowhere and been like, huh.
And since they coated the city in uranium, essentially, you didn't want that to ignite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's a really fascinating episode, and I recommend it. We'll put a link in the description. You can find this one on YouTube for free. It's Colorado Experience. Lots of great episodes about Colorado, and I think this is one we do want to try to get to. They kind of brought up the Field of Dreams and the little baseball field that's still there, pretty much the only remnants of Yerevan. It looked like there was some museum, so some close town, I guess, probably has this museum. Matt, what did you kind of take away or learn from this episode?
It's hard to say. I mean, it was different for sure. I mean, we learned a little bit more about the town and it being destroyed and the uranium, and I don't know, it'll take a little bit to process it, but it was informational.
Yeah, and they even brought up Oppenheimer, who we're going to touch upon later in the year for True History of the Silver Screen with that new Christopher Nolan movie coming out. So, fun little tie in there. Again, ties in with New Mexico because obviously it's where they were testing the bombs. We do a lot of New Mexico. We might do more New Mexico stuff than Colorado. It's kind of weird. Sam, what did you learn or take away from this?
Essentially how everyone was just basically experimenting with it like they did a long time ago, because they made ointments for it that essentially base killed people and then gave them bad radiation poisoning, and then a lot of other stuff. So they were just playing with fire, and it was strange to have a city so close to a mine that was just day and night truck after truck, unloading a bunch of it out, in and out of there.
Yeah, I did like that part when he was like explaining, one of the former residents, where he would be in his house and he could just he could tell what bridge they were on, like the trucks, because there was so many. That was
And with like
interesting.
how many times it would like hit a certain like point in the bridge, he would know which bridge it was and where they were coming from.
Yeah, so super fascinating. Like kind of add-ons with Sam, with like some of the creams they were trying to make like cures for cancer, but they were just giving the people cancer. And again, it shows a sign. Obviously, medical has gotten a lot better since those times. At one point, the medical team probably killed James Garfield, the 20th U.S. president, because they didn't sterilize any of their hands or utensils, and so they were just like probing around looking for this bullet, which had they just left him alone probably would have survived, but because they were probing around, he ended up contracting an infection, and it kept getting worse because of course they kept probing, and it killed him. And so it is always interesting to kind of look back in time and learn about a lost city of Colorado that actually played a huge part in the United States and in World War II and World War history. And now it's just a dirt, I guess, field. It looked like a lot of pebbles on top of the dirt. It's just not there anymore. So, Matt, would you rate it? Do you recommend it?
I recommend it. I can't really give it a rating. Didn't miss some of the episode. Maybe as of right now, 7.5. I mean, I would recommend it because it was informal. I mean, it did contain some stuff that I learned.
Sam, what about you?
It was definitely quite interesting because I have never heard of that town. I've lived in Colorado, so that's kind of a little upsetting, but it was definitely interesting to like hear about it and what it was doing. So it was definitely quite fascinating. I'll give it probably an 8 out of 10 and recommend it.
Yeah, and I'll probably side with Sam on this one as well. 8 out of 10. It's fascinating. It's not super long. Obviously, it's a Colorado experiences. Most of them are about 20 to 30 minutes. I think there's a few that are two-parters or a little bit longer because they're special editions or something. But I think it's really cool that they, like I said at the beginning, got some people that actually live there. Because at some point there's not going to be anyone left that had lived there. So it's super cool that at least historically they were able to collect that data and be able to preserve it for future generations, which is something that's a big goal for us as a team. We're trying to either tell stories, make sure they don't get lost, and also, especially with interviews and stuff like that, just bring in some of these people that maybe people wouldn't have heard of and help tell their stories. And I know Sam and Matt will be coming on some more soon, hopefully. I know I felt really lucky and really appreciative of all the guests, and I'm sure Sam has as well.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a lot of fields we want to talk about, but we're not big enough to talk about. I won't get in depth why, but at least we get bigger people that can safely talk about this stuff.
True. And I mean, there's some that like I'm not a big fan of, and I will admit that, but like I still kind of learn stuff from it, or at least a side where like they see it from, which is always like, it's still always really good, even though like I'm not super interested in it. They do have points that kind of intrigue me a little bit, so it's definitely been fun, and I've enjoyed every guest that we have, and look forward to them coming back and whatever new ones come our way.
Yeah, we got some more planned. I'm super excited. I'm just penciling down the finalization of these dates. One of which is going to be a magic show, so that should be something fun, as well as maybe a little bit of history of tarot, as well as some paranormal Wild West witchcraft. So that should be fun. But yeah, like Sam said, they're all super interesting. Doesn't mean just because they're on their channel doesn't mean we believe or agree with their viewpoints. all the time, but we just like listening. You know, I'm open. Hey, Daniel Edwards, if you're listening, we did review your book on Brushy Bill. I don't know many ways to contact you. You don't have an email or anything, but if you ever watch this video, I'd love to talk to you about Brushy Bill because your book was interesting. It was one of the higher rated Billy the Kid books, and higher rated, definitely highest rated Brushy Bill because you made a lot more sense than the other people. So if you're listening, let us know. But yeah, thank you guys for joining this Cools Reviews like mini review episode, which is probably more in line with earlier review episodes, which were only like 5 to 6 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've definitely grown. We thank you all for your support. You know, you guys are helping all our shorts just do crazy, all our videos do crazy, and we are so thankful because it's helping us do more and helping us tell you guys some more stories. So we're thankful, as always, for you guys. For more Cools Reviews, check over Matt's face is a link. For more about us here at Cools Paranormal, click that link over Sam. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
Switch that notification bell from personalized to all if you want to be notified on our upcoming videos.
And let us know, would you be interested in a better Cools history of Uravan? Tell us in the comments below. We'll probably do it anyway, so because it sounds pretty intriguing.
And you're a van out of here.